Om. 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 Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. We are grateful to Swami for blessing us to continue the Gita Jnana Yajna, and I'm happy you're all participating in the Yajna. In the Yajna, they have Ritvaks and Purohitas and all the Pandits. So you're all blessed and get that good punyam, good merit. So that for that we should express gratitude to Swami. So we are going to start on page 78, chapter 17. You got the soft copy in your thing. And if you have a hard copy of the book, it is page 160. So we'll continue that. I think Swami one time, suddenly I remembered, one time in the interview said that so people, there are a lot of chairpersons here. I see no election, no selection, becoming chairman, chairperson. Like there's so many chairpersons. So anyway, I know people who need to be in the chair. They can be, but here they can be close by if they could sit on the floor. But it is up to them. So here, last week, the whole thing is last few weeks we are discussing is the Akshara Parabrahma Yoga. That is the chapter 8 in Gita. Parabrahman is talking about the Supreme Brahman. Who is Brahman? He is Nirguna Nirakara, beyond any attributes, beyond time, space, causation, name and form. So that is the ultimate stage of the Lord. So that is Akshara. That means Kshara Brahma means Brahman comes in the form of a name, form like Shirdi Sai, Satya Sai, Krishna, Rama. But in that form, they are Akshara. They are there for a while. They may live for 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, or like Rama, they said thousands of years. But finally, they have to leave the body. So that is Kshara Brahman. They are also Brahman, but it's only for a limited. They have that body takes a birth and death. But they also are Nirguna aspects. So, but here you are talking about the Brahman who is beyond all that, Akshara Parabrahman. So, to attain that stage, what is the goal of life? Sayujya, to be merged with God, or to have moksha, you say, or to have liberation, or to realize our true nature that we are Atma. So that is the clarity we should have, the goal for that. Everybody's goal is that. You may have a goal, you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, or a businessman, whatever it is, that is not important goal. That is temporary goal to make a living. But the ultimate goal for every human being, whether you are a president or a king or an ordinary person, a scholar, or everybody, the only goal is to be merged with God, to realize that you are Brahman. So for that, how to do that? He says there are two things you need to know. He says how to die and when to die. Does anybody know how to die? He said, you go on thinking about God At the last breath, last moment, you should be able to think about God. For that he said, if you chant Om at the last breath, he assured Lord Krishna, you will be one with me. Om, that's why he said Om Ityekaksharam Brahma. Om itself is representative of Nirguna Brahman. So we should remember that Om, if you chant that, or in your favorite name of the chosen deity, whether it is Rama, Krishna, Shiva, Mother, Ganesha, whatever, Jesus, whatever name at the last breath, last moments, if you think you will be merged. Now he's talking about when to die. When to die is not in our control, but if you, like Swami says, the photographer says, hey, be ready, I will take a picture. But the Lord Yama, the God of death, won't say, just be ready, I will take a. He won't say that. You won't know when he will click the button, you are gone. So, as a doctor, I have seen people who think, oh, we are going to discharge you tomorrow from the hospital tomorrow. And by the time next day, they are no more there. They died in the night, that we have seen. And people, we thought they won't live for another day. They will live and go home. So, it shows God has control of our life and death. So, but you need to be when to die, that is what he is discussing. Before that, last week, they talked about the four types of things. One is what is karma theta, that means people who are beyond karma, like great saints and avatars, like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda, Ramana Maharshi, Aurobindo, all those people that are beyond karma. The very word is word of God. Around them, you feel so blissful and joyful. So they are not bound by karma. They are called karma athita, beyond the boundaries of karma. Second thing is nishkama karma. That means selfless service. Where do you do work without expecting any results? So without attachment and without ego. That is the whole secret. We all work, everybody works. As long as you're living, you are working. There is nobody, you are breathing, that is a work. Your heart is beating, that is work. And you are eating, you are sleeping, you are walking, everything is karma, action. So, but the same action you do nishkama, that means without the feeling of doership and enjoyership, without ahankara and mamakara. That is the whole secret. The whole Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, from the beginning to end, the whole summary is nishkama karma. How to do that, that is what he taught Arjuna, because he is a great archer. He was a great tapas, and also he did. But he had the attachment. That is the problem, that he thought he is attached to his family, his cousins, and his gurus and grandparents. So he has attachment to the family. That was the greatest, even though he is not an ordinary man, he is a great hero. And second thing is, he thinks he is a great hero. He is a great archer. He can kill anybody. So he had both ahankara and mamakara, even though he is a great person. So he need to learn, and through him, Lord Krishna taught us also, every one of us, that how we should be beyond Ahankara and Mamakara. So this is Nishkama Karma. Once you do Nishkama Karma, then you attain the Brahma Lokas. Then you don't need to be born again. Once you really sincerely do the Nishkama Karma. And third is, we said, Sakama Karma. You do work with the results. 99% of all of us are in that category, where you go to work, you want a paycheck, you want a raise, you go to school, you want to get a first class. Nothing wrong with that. We have but too much competition, and then you want to go to the best school, and then everything you're achievement oriented and too much competition. So in that sense, so everything is result oriented. So then it gives you problem. You don't get the result, like the job you want, you don't get, you feel sad. And the promotion you don't get, you feel sad. And the rank you don't want to get in the college, you feel sad. If you don't get to the college you want, you'll feel sad. So whenever you have expectation, that is, you'll have disappointment. So there is the whole secret is do without attachment. That is the whole thing about nishkama karma. From the beginning, At the end, he says, if you do that, then you attain the loka of Brahman. So then you don't want to be born again and again. The whole problem is punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. We just born, die, born, die. That is what that is what Lord Krishna said. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. The minute you are born, you decided you are going to die. You should face the truth. Nobody wants to listen. And dhruvo janma mutasya. Once you die, you will be born again. But you want to get out of this rut, get out of this cycle of birth and death. That is the whole secret. So these people with this sakam karma, they also spiritual practices they do. Not only worldly life, they do yajna, pitru, even Dasharatha did, so that he can have children. Some people do the things so that they will have expand the kingdom. They used to do Ashwamedha Yajna. So some people do want to have a Satyanarayana Puja, this puja, so that they will have more money and secure family, this and that. Everything is, and they also tell in those pujas, interesting, they say, if you don't do that, this will happen, you will lose this. If you don't do this, you will have this. They frighten you that if you don't do that. So it's a business. That means you are transacting with God. My God, if he doesn't do, he will do this harm. So you're scared of God. Anything we do with fear of God is not devotion. You do for love of God, like Prahlada did. So you do for love of him, not fear. If I don't do this puja, I don't do this, oh my God, God will punish me. That is the fear these people put. That is not good. Fear of God is not good. What should we fear of what? That is why Swami said, you should have papa bhiti, daiva priti. You should be fear of sin. That is what we should be afraid of, doing bad things, hurting other people, cheating, stealing, and doing scandal mongering. Any of those are, you should be fear of that, fear of sin. Whereas love of God, fear of sin, love of God. Whereas now people have fear of God, love for sin. So if you do all sinful deeds, say. So if you really want to come to close to God, we should have love for God. But this sakama karma is good. But Lord Krishna says, Arto jijnasu artharti jnani cha bharitarshava. He says, I have four kinds of devotees. People who pray to me when they are in distress, when they have health problems or money problems, or who are artharti, who want success in life. And so there are different kinds. There are also devotees. But he says, I like the jnani is the best. Jnani atmaiva me matam. There's no difference between me and the jnani because he loves me for love's sake. Love for love's sake. That is the important. So, but then the sakama yoga, whatever good they did, like you went for seva project, you did bhajans, you did this yoga, it won't go waste. So you'll all in your spiritual bank balance. But the problem is, at that you will go to heaven or some loka, and you finish that quota, finish your think you went to some nice vacation place, which went with after that the money is spent, you have to come home, right? Same thing, you go and enjoy in these things, and you come back again. That is where Lord Krishna says, Shine punye martya loka vishanti. Once you finish your punyam, gunyati, you will come back to this earth. So these people, anybody who, whatever so-called good deeds, whether charities, bhajan, whatever you do, because you have a expectation, want the results, you have to, you'll get the results, but then after finishing it, you'll come back again, start all over again. But you don't want to go through that, you have to go to Nishkama Karma. And fourth kind is the worst. Who are those? Karma Bhrashta. Swami says they are worse than animals. They're like demons. Swami says he was so serious. Because people who do bad deeds, who always hurt others and who cheat others, like that, so many people you get this. If somebody spam calls and spam mails, I get every day. All of us get. I might get in middle of the that's calls and spam. So all those are these karma brashtas. They give so much pain to other people, try to cheat others. So in all these things, they are and what is their fate? They will be born as in the lower strata of society, where in the places where they won't have enough food to eat, hunger, or health conditions. That is better, at least human life. Or they may born as an animals. They could be born as pigs or a dogs is good. Dogs, they are sometimes treated better than one of my friends was carrying in the Mercedes, been putting a nice sweater in the back seat. So here in the dog's life is okay, but some people, not all of them, but so they may be born as dogs, pigs, or goats, or a scorpion, or a cobra, like Shidi Baba Chaitya, you will get all the things. And even if you read Bhagavatam, it shows, or you may be born as a tree, or you may be born next time as a stone. So having got that, don't revert back. You will revert back. So if you are karma brashta, you will lose all that. And there's so many stories to show that. So the thing is now how to progress from karma brashta to sakama karma to nishkama karma. And if you are at that stage, finally you will become karmatita. So now we are going to start. That's what Arjuna had this question. And last week also I said, we decide, I told anybody read that chapter 6? I said sloka 40 to 46. Because Arjuna asked, Lord, I do all these spiritual practices and all that. Suddenly I die before I attain liberation. What will happen? All these things, like for example, you may earn $1 million, you may get a PhD. I die. What happens? Gone with this life. Next life, you may be a high school graduate or maybe in a poor house. But Arjuna asked this question. It's not with spiritual life. Whatever you did in this life, carry forward. Next life, you start from there. That is why he gave a promise. Nahi kalyana krita kaschit durgatim tata gachati. Lord Krishna gave a promise, like promise to note. Whoever does the good deeds, he will never go to perdition. He will always start from there. You will start. That is why he also gave solution. If you really did so much spiritual practice, you are there almost about to be liberated, but you didn't achieve the goal, then you will be born in the family of yogis, like you can Tukaram, Jnandev, Namdev, people like the family of saints like Swami Vivekananda, Brahmananda, like that. You'll be born in that so that you can start from there and finish up in your life. They are called yoga brashta. But the next level, sort of was in a 50%. We did a lot of bhajan, good practices, helped people, did service, but you didn't achieve the goal. Then he said, you'll be born where? Suchim Srimatam Gehe. Suchim means you are good people, Srimatam, wealthy or comfortable. So you'll be born in, a lot of us probably fall into that category. You're born in a family who are reasonably well-to-do. They have food to eat and shelter and then take care of their things. They don't need to struggle for day-to-day things like food and water or shelter or health. So you'll be born. But one thing is, there are so many families like that, but these people have interest in God. Their spiritual interests. So we'll be born in family who have a decent, moderate, wealthy life, but they also have spiritual interests. Because a lot of people who have this, they waste their life eating, drinking, sleeping, being merry, and worldly pleasures. A lot of people waste that, which is that wasting your life. But these people are born in the family conducive to your spiritual practices. Then if you are intensify that, then you reach the goal. So that is why you need to think you want what goal next life you want. You want to be here, you decide. So whether you want to be born as in a yogi family or yoga brashta family or as a animal or something like that. That's why when I went to India, I saw one of my cousin sisters. She was ill-treating the servants, not well, not treating them. I said, do you know what happens next life? You may be in that place. She will be like that. Don't think this law of karma is very serious. Swami says it is like a law. So whatever, as you sow, you reap. Whatever my mother used to say, what you do with right hand, you do left hand, you experience right hand. You have to experience. So she was really scared. Really? Yeah, that's true. That is recorded. Then at least you will be good for a while. So people sometimes can't realize him. Swami want. So don't think because they are working, treat them without any respect. That's not good. So anyway, this is all the discussion. So how to die, when to die. Now when to die, he's expanding more. So let us start. Go ahead. Praveen.
Sairam, before I start,
Yeah, go ahead. No, please tell. Yeah, this is open. This is no specific time. We should finish this today at something. So anybody also make comments and questions. No, we're free to discuss.
So karma tita is also equated to Jivan Mukti, Jivan Mukta.
Yes.
And the Nishkama karma is Mumukshu.
Right. One who wants to attain thing, but if you practice that, you will attain eventually.
And the other thing is for
Karma.
For karma tita, so they don't have a vidhi, nisheda, none of those.
Because they are beyond. That's why they are not bound by karma. We are all called karma janmas. We are born because of our karma, last unfinished desires or karma. We are born now and finish it up. Whereas they are karana janmas. We are karma janma or karana janmas, like Swami, the saints and sages who come. They are born for a purpose so that they help others to get out of the bondage of karma. So you can think about, like Swami gave an example, like a jail is there, right? In the jail, who are the lot of prisoners are there. We are all prisoners in the jail. But there are people, the jail superintendent and the officers, they are also in the jail. But they are, because of their job, they can get any time in out of the jail, out of the jail. They are not if you stay there, but they are employees. They can anytime get into the jail, get out of the jail. They are not prisoners. But they are like the saints, but they can help also the prisoners to get out of the jail to make them behave well. Similarly, we are all in this prison of samsara, but these great saints, we can also, everyone is, Swami says, don't think only saints can become, every one of us can get out of this samsara. That is why he says, Manasa bhajire guru charan dustara bhavasagara. We can cross across. So, but these are the people, karana janmas, we are karma janmas. That is the difference.
Arjuna asked, Krishna, tell me when the body has to be yielded to death so that one can escape the cycle of birth and death. Tell me also which period of time one should avoid. Krishna replied, Partha, your question is very timely and urgent. Sometimes you make me marvel at your intelligence and you make me very happy. At other times, you make me laugh at your ignorance. Your egoism and sense of attachment cause this confusion. Let that pass. Let us come to your question. The yogis who practice nishkama karma pass away in tejas, splendor during day while there is light, in the bright half of the month, and in the 6th-month period of Uttarayana, bright or northward journey. They have as their first state Agni or fire. Hence, their path is known as Devayana. 6 months following the summer equinox, beginning Hindu month of Makara, January. Or this Agni is known as Archi. In the Vedas, Archiradi offering Marga. Such yogis emerge from Prakasha, effulgence, and traveling through Prakasha, they merge in Prakasha itself. They attain Brahman, are not born again. The yogis who practice Sakama Karma pass away in Dhuma, smoke at night, during the dark half of the month, during the 6 months of Dakshinayana, they pass along Dhuma, dark or southward journey, Marga, and reach Swarga or heaven, and their joy, the pleasures they have earned for and worked for, when the stock of merit is exhausted, they get born again. Both of these categories of men are called yogis. They will exist so long as aspirants and active, progressive individuals exist in the world. Actually, I wanted to stop here.
Yeah, sure.
Because I know it's a very, very profound.
Sure, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Because two important things, nishkama karma, which we just heard, that you do as a divine mission. There is no true desire, and you're not looking for results. If you have that, and they say clearly, you pass during the day and the bright half of the month, and so that's the northward direction of the sun, which is our Makara Sankranti, starts from somewhere mid-January through July, mid-July, that first 6 months, Uttarayana. And also there's they talked about Agni, the fire. The path is actually lighted up uh, um, with the light, so you move towards the north direction. And then even though sakama karma, um, we do all the rituals and the karmas, but if the mind is not really anchored as a nishkama karma, your path is going to be southward direction in the second half of from July through until January, that last 6 months, and then also darkward direction. Um, and then I think the most important point is the sakama karma. You spend your all your uh, all your I mean the stock here, it says the merit, and then you come back. Whereas nishkama karma, you don't come back. One thing I actually heard was just between these two. I think this is only applies to only for nishkama karma and sakama karma. Once you become a gnani, it really doesn't matter when you leave the body because they're beyond the body. So we can't. And also, I think what I know, I have this little thing that I keep observing people that I know very close. We can't really judge. Somebody could be like, they may not really integrate their personality, but they're more loving, but sometimes they don't come out that way. And then when they depart on a Uttarayana, full moon day. And I said, what? How did that happen? And so we can't really judge because they have accumulated. We don't know. So I think that's what I really wanted to make that point. We can't judge, but the point is also, I think Swami says later, death tells how they lived their life, the time of death.
Yeah, here the first paragraph, Swami said very clearly, he said, Jagat Guru, Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. He is the universal teacher. When the student does good job, he says, good job, you did a very good, very happy. So you are so smart. I couldn't believe you are so smart, he says to Arjuna. Because Arjuna is very smart because he has that one-pointedness. That is why he chose Arjuna over Dharmaraja, Bhima, Nakula, and Sahadeva. Why did he choose him over Dharmaraja? I said 5 points before.
Prior, I mean, I think Dharmaraja is more like the I mean the Paschastapa and
Purvatapa. That means before you jump into action, Arjuna had Purvatapa. Hey, should I do this or not? What is the pros and cons? He had that. That is one. Second reason why he chose was he has one
surrendered.
pointed. He's like even the hit when they hit all the bird eye could state. So he's in spirituality should have one pointedness. He is one pointed. Third,
He asked for it. He came to Krishna and said,
yeah,
teach
he
me.
gave priority to Lord God in his life, not everybody, everything else. Whereas Duryodhana, he wanted to have his army and things, but not other things. So he had priority to God in life. So what you need is priority to God in life. You need one pointedness. Person comes. Another thing is he has complete faith in Lord Krishna. Whatever he says, he believed in it. That is why he says it is a bird, it is a crow, whatever he says, he believes. So you should have complete faith in our Guru, our Swami, who is God for us. Whatever he said, every word of his is like a mantra. You should have complete faith in that. And then you should have implicit obedience. Whatever he said, at the end he says, Harishe Vachanam Tava. Lord, command me, I will implicitly follow your command. I completely surrender to you. He says, I don't have, in the beginning he was arguing this, that. Finally he said, I'm Sharanam Prapatti. I completely surrender to you. Whatever you say, I will do. Because of these noble qualities, so he chose him. So he says, you are a very good boy. He's good. Other times he scolded him. You are a mudha. You are a ignorant guy. He says actually in the beginning when he threw away his weapon, he says you are napumsak. You are like a eunuch because he's so amazed. Chudram hridayadayabhulaniyam. He says despicable. You are so useless. That bad he scolds him. So when do good things he praises, when bad he really scolds him. That is the way teacher to groom the student. Here, let us people not be confused. What Ravina said is, in general, what is Uttarayana is, that I said, Makara Sankranti, January 14th in the time till December or January, that is June, July, that is the Uttarayana. Then from there, July is to the Dakshinayana. But that is time. So that Swami says, as you said, there are so many bad people could die in February, January, December, and several good people die in. So don't take it. Uttarayana, Dakshinayana is that time period. Uttarayana is the time where sun goes northward. And here, similarly, the real inner meaning, that is where an avatar tells, whenever our mind is going towards north, that is toward jnana, if you leave that time, that is Uttarayana. Not don't take this chronological time. The real time when your mind is, that is why in the three things he says, Agni, sun, it says whenever it is in the light, that is why it's called white path or lighted path. Whenever your mind is clear, no doubts, and you are calm, peaceful, compassionate, loving, that is the northward path. That time you leave the body, that is Uttarayana. Dakshinayana is whenever you are dark, you have negative qualities, hatred, jealousy, anger, excessive desire. If you have those things still you are having till the time of death, that is Dakshinayana. So if you die that time you will be born again and again. Whereas if you die in the lighted path, you will not come back. You will be attaining Brahma. So the difference between Dakshinayana and Uttarayana is actually most of the people consider the chronological time. Yes, it has a significance because of planetary influences. But the ultimate truth is anybody who thinks about God, Godward path. So Uttarayana, you can say Godward path, you are free to die. Whereas if you are in the worldly path of attachment, that's why Lord Krishna clearly said his, I laugh at your ignorance because you have confusion. Why you have confusion? He said the answer. Because of your ego and attachment. So whenever we have ego, I am doing, I am great, I am a scholar, I am wealthy, I know this, I am a great devotee, I do so much service. As long as you have the ego, that means will be confused. And also you are attached. I have these possessions, this family, this great lineage, any of that. So ego and attachment will create you bondage and grief. So that is where Lord Krishna clearly warned, I laugh at your ignorance. Your ego and sense of attachment is causing you all this confusion. So we go above that, then we'll be in Uttarayana path. Then we will be always in that stage of love, peace, compassion. So that is what we need to understand. Otherwise, we will be going round and round. So that is the difference between, there are in scriptures, there are three kinds of meanings. One is Satipadartham, literal meaning, word by word. Tejas means light. That is the meaning. There is second meaning called Antarartham, inner meaning. That some of the commentators, some of the scholars, I see, they, in the Pravacham, they tell the inner meaning. But then these great masters like Shri Baba, Swami, Krishna, they give Paramartham, that means inner divine meaning. And Swami is, like we talked about, Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya, how Shri Baba gave completely different meaning, even more than what Adi Shankara said. Even Adi Shankara, he says, forget about Adi Shankara. He gave the meaning. So that is the divine meaning. So same scripture, a ordinary person will see the literal meaning. A person who is a spiritual seeker or a pandit, they will see the inner meaning, whereas a saint or an avatar gives the divine meaning, paramarthika meaning. So that is why we are very blessed that we have Swami himself giving him the commentary on Gita. So that is what the inner meaning. He is going to talk about this Uttarayana, Dakshinayana later on. I think Chiranjeevi wants to have some extra bhajan for Akhanda bhajan practice. We will continue next week. So people read that. This is all in chapter 8, Akshara Parabrahma Yoga. This, both are discussed. So go there and look at what is Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, Shukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha. Then you will have better background. Okay? Sai Ram will continue next week.